Let's talk about building an incredible athletic body using nothing but your own body weight. No gym, no problem. That's the whole idea behind calisthenics, and today, we are breaking down the ultimate roadmap to get you started from scratch.
I mean, really think about that for a second. No expensive machines, no waiting in line for equipment. It's just you, a bit of space, and gravity. That's the real power of calisthenics. It's for absolutely everyone, no matter where you are.
And that's the big question, right? You hop online, you see people doing these insane human flags and handstand push-ups, and you just think, there's no way. It feels completely overwhelming. But trust me, we're going to cut through all that noise, starting right now.
So first things first, to really get what this is all about, we have to understand what calisthenics actually is. Let's define it.
Okay, so the key phrase here is relative strength. What does that even mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It's all about how strong you are for your size. This is exactly why calisthenics athletes have that lean, powerful look. You're building functional strength that's perfectly scaled to you.
Look, before you even start dreaming about those crazy advanced skills, you have to master the fundamentals. Every single complex move you've ever seen is really just built from 5 basic movement patterns. Think of this as your body's built-in toolkit. That's it. It really just boils down to these 5 things. You've got your push, like a push-up, your pull, like a pull-up, leg movements, like squats, and then you have your dedicated core and stability work. You get strong in each of these 5 areas, and you've built a foundation for pretty much anything you can imagine.
And this right here, this is the whole journey mapped out. You don't just magically jump to the advanced skills on the right. Nope. You have to earn them by mastering the basics on the left. A perfect push-up is step 1 towards a one-arm push-up. A deep, solid squat is the only way you'll ever get to a pistol squat. It's all connected.
All right, enough theory. Let's get down to business and actually build your very first workout plan. This is something you can literally take and start doing today. Now, consistency is king, right? But so is recovery. That's why training 3 times a week on days that aren't back-to-back is the sweet spot. It gives your body enough of a challenge to get stronger, but it also gives it that crucial downtime it needs to actually rebuild. So here it is, a super simple, super effective routine to get you going. And notice how we've covered all our bases, right? We've got a push, a pull, a leg exercise, and 2 different kinds of core work. See, you don't need a million different exercises, you just need the right ones. This is a complete, full-body workout.
And hey, this part is super important. Don't skip your rest. Taking about 60 to 90 seconds between your sets is absolutely crucial. It lets your muscles recover just enough so you can hit that next set with good, solid form. And good form is what actually builds strength.
Okay, so you've been doing the workout for a few weeks. What happens next? How do you make sure you don't just get stuck? Well, this next part is the secret sauce. This is what unlocks long-term strength, not just in calisthenics, but in any kind of training.
The fancy term is progressive overload. And yeah, I know it sounds a little technical, but the idea couldn't be simpler. To get stronger, you just have to keep asking your body to do a tiny bit more than it's used to. You have to give it a reason to adapt and grow.
And this is why calisthenics is so cool. Making things harder isn't just about doing more reps. You have so many other tools. You can move to a tougher variation of an exercise, you can hold a position for longer, or you can even add some explosiveness, like going from a push-up to a clap push-up. You've got a whole toolbox for making progress.
Now, if you want to keep making that progress, you have to avoid these common roadblocks. First, don't overdo it. You build muscle when you rest, not when you train. Second, form is everything. Quality over quantity, always. Third, don't skip the hard stuff. A lot of people hate pull exercises, but they are essential for strong back and good posture. And finally, you gotta be consistent. Motivation comes and goes, but habits are what get you results.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. What can you actually expect if you stick with this? It's really important to have a realistic timeline in your head.
You gotta remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. In just a couple of weeks, you'll start to feel stronger. Give it about 8 weeks, and you'll actually start to see some changes. Stick with it for 6 months, and you'll see a major transformation. And a year from now, those skills that seemed totally impossible might just be within your grasp.
And I really want you to look forward to this moment. Because there will be a day, maybe it's when you do your first clean pull-up, maybe it's just holding a plank longer than you ever thought you could, where it just clicks, and you'll have that thought. It is one of the absolute best feelings in the world, and it's waiting for you.
So if you forget everything else, just remember these 3 rules. 1, master the basics first. 2, always focus on that little bit of progression. And 3, the most important one, just stay consistent. Seriously, the mediocre workout you actually do is 1,000 times better than the perfect one you skip.
You know, this whole thing starts with one step and one clear goal. So let's end with this question for you. Maybe it's doing your first push-up, or maybe it's just feeling more energetic every day. What's the one thing that's going to drive you to start? Think about it, write it down, and let's begin the journey.